We're officially coming to the end of the 75th anniversary year commemorating the Holodomor genocide by famine of 1932 to 33 in Ukraine. But this is no time to let the matter die, much less to forget the memory of those who perished and why so many innocents, including 3 million children, were so callously and cruelly murdered by starvation. Anatoli Ciacka is president of the Ukrainian Canadian Congress, BC Provincial Council, and the Vancouver Branch. He has no intention of forgetting or letting others forget. He joins us now to tell us about a project he's working on here in Vancouver to keep alive the memory of those who perished in the Holodomor and to raise awareness in our city and our community of this unspeakable crime against humanity to lessen the likelihood of it ever happening again. Anatoli, welcome. Вітаю.
Дуже дякую.
Now, some time ago you told me that you were working on this project to commemorate the Holodomor victims. Can you tell us what this project is?
Well, in 1975, we have, I have initiated to put up a monument for the Holodomor. Mm-hmm. And in Sveta Trojica in the cathedral in Vancouver, it was accepted so that people that will donate money will be tax deductible. Mm-hmm. Also, the St. Peter and Paul in New Westminster, the church has also adopted that any people donating will receive a tax receipt. Mm-hmm. And from there on, we started collecting for the monument. Anybody that is giving $1,000 or more, their name will be on the monument.
What is this monument going to look like?
It's exactly the replica what is in Kiev. Everybody's seen right now the monument that is in Kiev. Everywhere there's like a mother with a child in the center, mm-hmm. and a cross mm-hmm. around it. So mm-hmm. she's in the center.
Okay.
And it's made out of bronze in Ukraine, but we're planning to make it out of steel, mm-hmm. Solid steel, and a cross. Mm-hmm. The cross is possible depending on the amount of money we get. In Ukraine, it's the mother and child is surrounded with the granite. Over here, we might be making a cross out of steel that is going to be surrounding.
Okay. And where will it be located?
It was okay to put up in the cemetery's forest lawn. Mm-hmm. They have agreed to it. Mm-hmm. The only thing we have to is to bring them the plans and exactly so it's to their liking.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's what you've decided on for the location.
Yeah, that's the first location. If we could get, I would be greatly appreciated if somebody could find out from the government if we could put it up somewhere in a park or put it by the city hall or like in Winnipeg, it's put up right in front of the city hall. So if anybody out there knows or the government is interested of putting up somewhere where it's very visible, mm-hmm. we would greatly appreciate mm-hmm. it.
So who do you have chosen to create it?
Well, actually, it's in Surrey. There's a steel company that it's called Cut Steel.
Okay.
And they either with laser or with something else, they'll be cutting a 3-inch solid steel. In Ukraine, it's made out of brass, but it's hollow.
Okay.
But unfortunately, over here, sometimes when you put up out of brass, it will be stolen, destroyed, or something to that effect.
Exactly.
So we make it sure that nobody can do anything to it unless they put a bomb underneath it.
Okay. So you said you started this back in 1975?
That's right.
Okay, it's been a long...
No, in 2005.
2005.
2005, okay. Sorry.
Okay, we lost a quarter of a century there. Easy enough to do, isn't it?
Not that long ago.
So 2005. And do you have a completion date in mind? Like, do you have a goal?
We were planning to have it done actually for this year and in November. Unfortunately, we had certain obstacles. We had people were not either familiar with Holodomor. They destroyed some of our exhibits.
Oh.
Yes.
What exhibits were destroyed?
We had it in a cathedral, and we left it overnight, and all the pictures and everything, all of the projects that I gathered everything was destroyed. And we never found out who actually did it, but whoever did it had the key to the church auditorium.
That's appalling.
That's right. The only other place it was done was in Moscow.
Wow.
So we have a similarity in Moscow and in Vancouver that, somebody's against the Ukrainian Holodomor.
That's unthinkable. Well, at any rate, you're still going ahead.
Yes, we are.
How long do you think it would take?
Oh, we are actually we could have had it completed now. Unfortunately, there's always delays. Mm-hmm. If it's not one thing, it's another thing, So, I mean, we probably within a month or so, we could probably have it completed. So, we will have it erected.
So it's very close to completion then.
Oh, it's very close to completion.
But you do still need to raise some more funds for it.
Well, we need to raise more funds. Actually, we thought around 50,000. We raised roughly about 30 around there.
So you're coming along. Okay.
We're coming along.
Now, you have a personal stake in this project. It's not just something you decided to take on because it's a good thing to do. You've got a personal reason motivating you.
Well, the reason is, like the Jewish people would say, I'm the surviving child of Holodomor. Of the parents that my grandparents have perished from Holodomor.
They died in it.
That's right.
Where
that was in Kharkiv. And my mother told me how it was done. They came in the middle of the night. They threw my grandfather and grandmother out of the house in the middle of the winter. Took their boots off. And nobody had the right to help them. My mother said if she would have helped him, they would have thrown her out of school where she was. So she had to help him in such a way that nobody would know about it.
So they were thrown outside in the middle of winter, have their boots
taken off.
Take it off them.
That's right.
And
nobody's allowed to help. If anybody helps, the law was that they would be thrown out too.
And so there was no reason given.
The reason was because my grandfather had a few trees around the house, and sometimes when you have urozhai, when there's a lot of fruit and things like this, he would hire people to pick the fruit of the trees.
Uh-huh.
So because you hired people to do it, you will call a kurkul, and they would.
Be an enemy of the state.
That's right. So that's the reasoning.